Hello and welcome, I'm Misstical. This is Misstical Gaming. We're jumping into Watcher of Realms, and today a little bit different. I'm sure soon, or we've probably already seen them out and about, there are should you summon videos. That's really easy. Yeah, you should. I mean, he's absolutely fantastic. So the thing about him is he brings up this whole new mechanic. It applies shield break, so this is a whole new mechanic coming into the game, which is always interesting. So increases damage dealt to shielded targets by 30%, and you can get that up to 50% if you chuck some skill crystals into him. Then if you get him in on A1, it doesn't just affect 2 allies, it affects 3 as well. So there's all sorts of craziness that will be coming with this ability alone, despite them pushing poisons, and he's a poisoner as well and that sort of thing. So despite all of that going on, I mean, just on alone with this new mechanic, it's going to be very interesting. So there we go, that's this weekend's summon. Now, where does that leave us for the following weekends and what's coming up in the future? Now, we normally have leaked videos and that sort of stuff, giving us best dates and what's coming up and that sort of shenanigans. I thought I'd have a look at something else, so I've dragged this up. So this is last year's. Don't go looking for it. This isn't out yet. Okay, this is last year's. Last year they produced this, and we had a sneak look at the anniversary celebrations. But I was surprised about how close it is and how close we are now. After this weekend, there's one, maybe two summoning weekends left before we start running into their anniversary weekend, or at least on last year's timings as well. So if we roll through and have a look at last year's stuff, this is one of the other things that came up. We had Senran for the first time. This is the Apocalypse 1 and 2 boss first came out, or Guild Boss 2. He came out last anniversary as well, so that was something else that came along. Now we had some fantastic sign-in options as well. We got lots of summons available. We got fantastic rewards. All of that was good. But if we start to look on the dates on this was the 12th. This was the 12th of June, which isn't that far away, particularly when you start counting up weekends that you've got to summon in. So the first part of the summoning here was we had 2 limited banners. Okay, now back then they were a 250 limited banner, I think, so now it's only a 200. But that still means you need 200 shards to summon with, or 17,600 ish diamonds. You can get away with being a little under that because you can sell the rares that you get and you'll get diamonds back from that, so you can get away with a little less than that. But there is 2 of them to summon. So the first one came out on the 12th, and then the second one at the end of the month as well. Now they have been on about rerunning previous banners, so whether we'll get new heroes or whether we'll get previous ones, I don't know. But when the Dahlia one came out, she wasn't alone. So the Witch's Call event came out, so it wasn't just her. There was stuff to do as well. It was all part of their anniversary event, but this was the first of the limited summons. So are we in 2, maybe 3 weeks going to get a rerun of a limited summon, or are we going to get a new hero as a limited summon? We may not get either of them. I'm just sort of speculating about what may be around the corner due to what they've done before. So this was the rest of the event itself. Yeah, the old event, the boss up type thing, and as you scaled up you got more of the event currency available, and then that went into the event shop, so you could then go and use that to purchase anything you sort of fancy from the event shop. So I mean, it was a good event, but she was a limited hero. So if you think about pulling everything, and particularly if you're free to play, then you may want to think, well, actually I might want to save a little bit back, or not pull everything for Vorn. You may want to save a little bit back to see what's coming for the anniversary. So again, these were additional 7-day reward sign-in events. We got an emoji along with some other summoning stuff as well. So I mean, they were very generous and always have been on the events they do. I mean, of all the things you think the game does well or badly, I think they're fairly generous, particularly with the free-to-play session of it. So there are games that are a lot worse that I've played before, and I'm sure many other people have as well. And these were available as either event rewards or available in the shop, so you got exclusive. So could we see a rerun of the likes of Kagari and Sun Wukong? I do think as heroes, they cause the game some issues. I mean, they're fantastic heroes, but if you've joined post Sun Wukong or post Kagari, then you can't get those heroes, and yet everyone's saying do use them. You put them in in guides, and you're now going to start to get a player base that comes through that doesn't have them or can't possess them. Once you've got them, it's fine. Now with the soul stones, we don't have to have them in the summoning pool. There are ways that we can actually get around to getting them. We don't get them that often. It'd be nice if we saw a pity system attached to the soul stones, but there we go. They've said they're not doing that, so that's something to bear in mind, which is a bit of a shame, I feel. But I mean, it's not my game, so not my rules. But they are the first, or she was the first of the 2 summoning sessions we then got. We then got Honora, who we've recently had again, so it's unlikely to get her. So would we see 2 new or 2 reruns? I mean, would we on first limited version get a Kagari, second one be Sun Wukong? Who knows? Or maybe the other way around would work. So just sort of speculating here about what I want to do with regards to everything else and what's just around the corner, because this was the 12th of June this kicked off. Now it's not that far away. This is much later on. Now this was fantastic. I do hope they redo this. So not with Helga obviously, but she was a Shard Summon event on the last anniversary, so hopefully we would see another Shard Summon event for a legendary on the anniversary event. That would be fantastic. That would be really good. I mean, when she came out, remember Semram had just come out, they'd released, and you needed to do that stun, so she fitted really well in with that. So maybe we could see another new champion who also fits in with the Shard Summon event, who fits in very well with the Abyss boss as well, maybe. Who knows? I mean, now the other thing that came out as well was my first went over. She was already in the game, but she then got put over to be a fusion as well, which was fantastic. So maybe the likes of Sun Wukong or Kagari or something like that could go over to be a fusion. I mean, how often are you going to rerun limited banners for on heroes that are so good? They're almost sort of compulsory in a lot of content, or maybe not compulsory, but I mean they're certainly the first pick from everyone. So would you see Sun Wukong as a fusion, and then all new players could get Sun Wukong, for example, and then everyone who's already participated in the limited would have been raised by a A1 to A2, A0 to A1, that sort of thing. So all those options are available out there, or maybe we'll get someone else who's moved over to it. But sort of 2 weeks out before the event ran, or even before the event, they gave that sneak preview video and that came out. This dropped beforehand. Now Vorn was absolutely top draw back then. I mean, still a good champion now. Let's be honest, he's still a good hero. He was top draw back then. So these are the banners they dropped before it. This was 2 weeks out, so what would be expecting sort of maybe next weekend, the weekend after, something like that. And then the one the week before was this banner. So Arrogance then would have been the top draw champion, Sadie maybe not so much. However, now, who knows, you may swap that around the other way and think maybe I want these the other way round now. But these were the sort of banners they dropped back then, just sort of 2 weeks and the week before the event went live. They were dropping some big banners, and then we went into the limited summoning as well. So you really did need to conserve your shards, or at least your ability to summon. And then in between the 2 limited, they had this banner as well. Now, again, cast your minds back, Semram just dropped, so Ares was out there giving you defense down almost permanently, 20% defense down almost permanently on him, and a tanky unit as well to boot. So those people who didn't have a Torador or anything like that, absolutely fantastic for the new content that had just dropped. And then we had Lucius as well. He was horrifically bugged when he first came out, but he was taking that buff away from the boss during phase 2, the Aegeus buff that he's putting on his shelves, that big shield set. He was removing that. He was the first hero that was doing that, I think, in the game. Although a bit bugged. He was absolutely almost requirement to actually push on late game on it. And then just above him, this was I think, before he got nerfed. He was in the arena and just killing everything. His AoE was, I think it was whole screen. I never got him that early, but I think it was whole screen, and people were making up arena teams where he just came in, and it was designed around getting him out as quickly as possible and the amount of damage he could do with his AoE. Okay, so they were big summoning events they had on as well. So yes, I'm summoning this weekend, but I am cognizant of what is just around the corner. If last year is anything to go by, this year they may just go happy days, here's chest, thanks very much, and a login reward, and that's it, done. I don't think that's likely. The game is good at events because it keeps you here. So this event we've got at the moment, the Poison event, I think is really good, and last year's event was really good as well. but they do want you to spend all your shards. They want you to use up all your shards and then go and buy plenty of new ones as well. Okay, that's what the game wants. You can't blame them for doing it. They do need money because they need to make a game for us. But if you're free to play, then you've got decisions you have to make and have to be aware of. Okay, so this came up as the Ancients as well. So in the middle of this, they had some big Ancient pools as well. This was the big Ancient banner they put on. This time round they used Valderon, absolutely fantastic champion, still good now. Has he come off? Maybe a little bit, but I think he's a good pool, isn't he? You're not going to regret getting him. And they had the bonded, so their new hero out was Nora, and she had a bonded skill with an Ancient. So would they do that again as another limited summoning during the anniversary? Would they have, like, for example, select Diachan, and then the bonded, you would have Luvu in there as a pool, so you could get the bonded skill with her as well. Who knows? Maybe that's what they're thinking about. I don't know. This is all speculation, but it's just to bear in mind. You've got a big event on at the moment with a lot of summoning, and we haven't got too many summoning weekends left before we start hitting the anniversary event. Okay, so just bear in mind that this is around the corner. If you're not a spender, then you think you've got some big summons coming up, certainly next month or for the whole of next month. Okay, so I'm not saying don't go for Vorn. It looks absolutely brilliant with that new mechanic there of the shield break. That looks fantastic, but there are a lot of summoning opportunities around. They had 2 limited summons during June last year. Are they going to do the same again? Are they going to be big heroes like Sun Wukong and Kagari, or are they going to be trash? Are they going to release some new ones that are absolutely terrible? I have absolutely no knowledge. The anniversary event started on the 12th last year with the Witch's Call, and then went on to the full celebration event for this one as well, all the way through the month of June. Okay, and I think that actual anniversary is on the 6th of July, I think it is. So a lot going up over the next couple of weeks. Okay, so this weekend, just be aware of it, and then you've got 2 weekends, possibly max, of saving everything up for the anniversary. Okay, so fingers crossed this comes out. Fingers crossed it's as good as it was last year, and I'll see you all in a video again soon. Okay, if you could just do the old thumbs up, like and subscribe, help me out massively. See you again soon. Cheers, goodbye.